Welcome to Fable Table, an actual play live stream focused on critical world building, collaborative storytelling, finding the fun in games, and snow. Today, we are continuing our game of Stars Without Number, Birds of the Shore. How is everyone doing today?
I'm all right.
I'm doing great, Nick. I'm exhaustedly tired, but I'm here in spirit, and thanks to coffee in just about every other aspect as well.
You're here in spirit, thanks to coffee, but not really. You're not really here, just in spirit.
Kind of. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Anything could happen today. Okay. So if y'all will allow me, we will dive right in, unless there's any like exciting news anyone wants to share.
Let's do it.
Okay. So as a quick recap, you all have recently stolen a bunch of soul crystals from Loricon, grabbed your ships, and have been kind of moving around the shore, getting some like errands done. As you prepare to head inside the reef, a solar system sized nebula that is electrically charged and electromagnetically dangerous, though it has many caves, many of which, especially deep inside the reef, that are not really charted, at least not with charts that you have access to. So you're hoping to go find some of the pirate factions in there and make friends with them in your conflict against the corporations. Is there anything anyone would like to add to that recap?
We did like steal a drone, like a freaking Gundam, to put our AI companion in. So there's that to look forward to.
That's right. Yes, you stole one of the Rocco Creations designs. This guy Rocco, who makes he's like the Banksy.
I've heard he's had a modern life.
Yes. And he makes he's like the Banksy of ship designs, but he decided one time to make a mech, and you all stole that for your little robot. So Vorix and Brucius Holloway are working on that for you right now. And Dot has had to leave the ship to make that work for you all.
They have a unrefined or a undamaged soul crystal to be used for that mech to power it.
Yes.
We also gave one to the people working against the lawsuit against the Loricon Corporation.
That's right. Yes.
We kept 4 for ourselves.
You have 4 refined soul crystals for yourselves. I'm actually going to mark that down as a good reminder. Okay.
Also, I believe our ship is too hot, and we're in the process of. We did already exchange for the Black Ops frigate, or we are for the Team Bella, or we are in the process of.
I think we've already switched over to Team Bella. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so you are in your corporate enforcer frigate, your Black Ops frigate.
Yes.
And you have stashed
much better weapons. Yeah.
Okay, and you've stashed the SS Retro Lover, your like super fast stealth ship, in the reef.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, are there any outstanding? At the end of last session, we did level up.
That we did.
Does anyone want to share any important anything important that came of that, like your cool new HP stats, what you took for your new foci, where you threw your skill points, that sort of thing?
Is that a shot at me for rolling terribly on every HP roll that has happened so far?
No, I genuinely could not remember. Oh yeah, here's our HP rolls. And here is what Andy rolled on 5d6 since they've reached level 5.
Yay.
That is fucking impressive, Andy. I don't care what anyone says.
Fucking embarrassing is what that is.
Dax has taken a lot of combat focused level up here. He has increased his shoot to 2, as well as become a level 2 gunslinger, which even when he misses, he's so deadly that he deals damage with his guns. So he's ready to start fighting a corpo war here.
Wow. You can reload for free.
For free.
And yeah, you always do an unmodified 1d4. Wow.
Minimum. Yep.
Wow. That's very cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Sunny has increased his pilot skill to +1 after our recent endeavors escaping corporation ships. Stashed a whole bunch of skill points waiting for the next level and increased his hacker foci to level 2, which now extends the duration of any successful hack that I make from mere rounds to 30 to 40 minutes. And now I don't need to be aware of the tech around me to be able to understand it and be familiar with it. So I can walk into any situation and be able to hack different systems without a penalty.
Very nice. That's awesome.
Nice.
No more complaining about the DCs I give you is what I'm hearing. Okay. Awesome.
We're always going to complain again. I mean,
I'll back you up, bro. It's fucking ridiculous.
I think John complains more than you.
He complains more than me. You know what? I don't have to complain because John does it for me.
Exactly.
That's the situation. And our DCs can't go a whole lot higher because we only roll 2d6 or 3d6 or either way. Yeah, if it's a DC at 20, we just can't meet it.
Oh, okay.
Well, in my quest to continue to be not this game, but ApolloNik's antagonist, I have become huge with 45 hit points now. Thanks to the Die Hard feat, I get an extra 2 hit points on level up, making me close to unkillable at the moment.
We'll see.
You know, we'll see how many concentrated fire I draw in the next coming moments. But hey, hopefully Dax will back me at one
dudes with spike throwers, and they all have a taste for clown.
It's true. All right, John, you're gonna suffer 18d6 damage now. Go fuck yourself.
Would you like to roll these 4d20 or shall I?
Apollo? And you're gonna be like, oh yeah, they actually have force fields, so it's 21 now. Because I think your 2 hit is too high with your stab skill.
Oh, so, we're level 3, right? Level 5.
We're level 5.
Yeah, we're level 5.
I'm gonna take off my Black Ops. As I have level 1 Ironhide.
Nice.
Which means that I have an innate armor class of 15 plus half of my character level rounded up. So I have the same AC just by myself without the armor. So I can be clandestine.
You have 18 AC wearing like
clothes. Yep.
Okay.
He's becoming Rambo, guys. We gotta watch out.
Clearly. What is this 18d6 that you rolled, Shadow?
That was the damage that John thought you were going to deal to him. So I rolled 18d6 randomly and got 69 damage, which is just
there you go.
Nice.
Nice.
That would kill me once and a half.
Okay. And Andy, you took the sniper foci?
Yes, because Lettuce has now picked up a conversion bow and the cartel blunderbuss, which is it's a gun, and it's a mag acceleration, like precision spike thrower. So for which we currently have 1 projectile breaching charge as well.
That's right.
And a currently broken grappling hook. DC 12 is what my note says. So I guess we get to work on that some more maybe today.
Yeah.
And then Sniper lets you Has shoot as a bonus skill, and when making a skill check for an execution attack, roll 3d6 and drop the lowest die. So,
Oh hell yeah! Nice.
I'm gonna. Lettuce has only fucking 14 HP, so I am fully embracing the role of find a good position that is secure and just shoot people from a distance. Roll in combat, which is going to work now that John already kind of like played like Leroy Jenkins in a lot of our combat and just ran in. Now that he has the HP to just tank everything,
We're going in, boys.
I feel like we're going to see that a lot. So power to us.
Power to
Oh
you.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Andy, was your HP that low before? Because it can't go down even if you roll.
No, it
crappy.
was 13 before. It has gone up by like 1 point in the last couple level ups because I keep rolling terribly on the HP.
So you have 14 HP?
Yeah, I have 16. I have passed you.
Wow.
Does this game have a last breath? Like
No.
In the way that
Yeah, it does.
Oh, does it?
Well,
John has it. John has it. The diehard if he gets level 2.
I will have a few
gotcha.
turns to bring you back up if you go down.
Yeah.
I think there's a damage threshold which obliterates your body. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I looked at the medical rules. But if you find yourself in a situation where you're going to die, you kind of deserve it. LOL, I'm victim
Whoa.
blaming you in advance because you should
Wow.
not be in a fight.
That's why I'm gonna snipe
There
Good.
you go.
Good
Look at
call.
you, preparing.
with the bow and the blunderbuss.
Excellent. I'm trying to find the rules on death, but I can't seem to find them. Oh well. We'll
It's
deal
under,
with it
like,
if we
medicine or
get to that
something.
point. Yeah, just don't reach 0 HP. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I came very close last season and managed to avoid having to do a last breath. So I'll
That's
I'll
fair.
make it this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we ever go back, I'll make sure Basil dies.
Oh my god.
Ah!
Rude.
While he's trying
Oh,
to
whoops.
do a public speaking engagement to a group of ants. Yeah.
Yeah. The ants just tear you apart.
All right. So, any like last minute business before you all head into the reef? I know
Head
you
into
all
the reef.
have run some errands, and now it's I think time to head in. Unless there's any like scenes or anything else we need to take care of. Okay.
Let's do it.
So, you all have a couple of options when it comes to like trying to find your way into this supposed cove that exists within the reef. The cove is this kind of like mythic or legendary I guess like headquarters for some of the pirate factions that you've heard about, but no one has like any concrete proof of its existence. But it's something that you've heard stories about in the last 5 years or so. So like, how do you want to approach this? Do you want to just start like looking for pirates on the edge of the reef? Do you want to go in and look for pirates? Like what kind of approach are you all taking?
You know that scene in Our Flag Means Death where they all get sewing materials out and each make their own pirate flag like at the kindergarten arts and crafts day?
I have yet to see it, but it's on my list. That sounds hilarious though.
I think we need to make.
I love it already.
I think we need to make a pirate flag, is what I'm saying. Since we're flying a what would look like a establishment frigate, I think we need to mock it up a little bit and maybe add some signals to pirates to let them know that we're not there to harass them.
I like it.
Yeah, what's
Graffiti
like-
the ship up.
Yeah.
What's the like there has to be a way that pirates identify themselves, right? Do they just like break their transponders and then just show up places, or
That is a good question. How would you know that? How would
I mean,
would any of you know that?
we're spacefaring people.
We're
We should know
spacefaring
that,
people.
yeah.
I think having sourced weird parts for repairs in the past, Lettuce might have interacted with some pirates before, but
Mhm.
maybe not know all of their roles. Oh yes, thank you, Shadow.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I forgot. I made us ship decor already.
Mhm.
You made ship decor?
Yeah, I made a
In
like a
cash
sigil.
chat. Looking cash chat.
I'm
Wild
looking right
Season
now.
2.
Oh, that's
Wait.
right. Okay, I'm gonna save this.
It's a red bird.
It is a red bird. I'm gonna add this to the game if that's okay with you, Andy.
Sure. Do you want me to make you a PNG version that's transparent around the edges?
Oh, that would be lovely.
Okay, give me a second here.
Okay. All right. So you all, yeah, if you're familiar enough with transponder stuff, you would know that yes, they use transponder codes, as well as like most pirate ships are painted. There is a visual element of confirmation, but because these are known factors, especially to local law enforcement, they also just generally, like, pirates tend to be aware of the names of each other's ships. So spoofing your transponder is a way to go. And just being identifiable as a pirate ship. So you all know of at least one pirate ship's name, the Lavender Groove. You could change your transponder to match that pirate ship's name and just be recognizable. Another thing that pirates tend to do is have like codes that they use to confirm each other's identity.
Sounds exceptionally organized for a bunch of ragtag pirates.
Yeah, it does seem exceptionally organized.
What were you gonna say there, Greg?
I feel like Dax has already been like brainwashed into this graffitiing the ship idea though. So he's just out there painting, but actually Team Alice on the side and like making moons and like just like the ship has just been painted as much as humanly possible by one person.
Excellent. Okay. So with the ship decored, you're just gonna fly around and look for pirate activity? Or like what are you hoping to do with this? Now that you're all dolled up.
Befriend a pirate, right?
Sure.
I think that is the extent of our plan. Was to like fly into the middle of the reef looking for pirates.
Okay.
I don't think we were much more organized than that.
All right.
Fly by the seat of our pants type of group anyway.
Excellent.
Once
love
we
it.
make contact, we'll be able to take care of it.
Okay.
All right, there's a pinja.
A pinja. Thank you.
Pinja.
Ooh, lovely.
And underneath that, it's just like, but Team Alice actually.
All right, let me go ahead and upload this. Then we can add that. Cool. So, can I get who is piloting at this point?
I mean, I think Sunny is now piloting as much as humanly possible.
Excellent.
Mainly because we're relying on Lettuce's efforts here to try to help us find pirate ships. So
right.
Sunny's going to just take the helm.
Okay. Can you go ahead and give me a pilot check? Once again, like navigating the kind of tunnels of the reef is really dangerous, especially if you don't have star charts or navigational data of the reef. So it is a little slow going.
What attribute value should I be using for this pilot check, Nick?
Probably intelligence. or wisdom.
All right. And go.
Oof.
That seems to be a 7.
Okay.
I think we're going to roll that again. It's kind of early in the session, but this is important, and I feel like now's the time.
Okay.
There we go.
Nice.
Couple of
Gonna make
close
good use of that
calls
feature.
with the ship nearly running into the electromagnetic like zones of the reef, but you manage to find your way. You hear the ship receives what looks like a distress call as you get several hours into the reef. And it sounds like there is the message is really broken up, which you would expect here in the reef, since the electromagnetic radiation or the EM fields tend to garble up lots of radio signals unless like you're right on top of other ships. So it's really hard to make out what this distress signal is saying. But it sounds like there is some sort of civilian transport that was being chased by pirates.
Lettuce hears the distress call and says, "That's a pirate. That's a fake distress call."
It absolutely is. There is, let's see here. Which of the factions does this? I think it is the Broken Heart Bandits. Let me double check my notes here.
Is this the group that we ran away from?
No, that was a reefer ship. Wow. Yeah, I think it's the Broken Heart Bandits have a habit. Nope. Aha. You're gonna love this one, Andy. The Blunder Buccaneers have a bunch of a series of fake transponders and booby traps, as well as mock ships that they use to lure unsuspecting marks into the reef. So with that information, yeah, you just can go ahead and ignore this, according to Lettuce.
Do we ignore it, or do we engage with them?
I was gonna say, I think
Entire purpose to find pirates?
can we hack their signal back to them and be like, "No, we're in trouble" or something like that to let them know that we see them and we need to talk?
Can we sing a sea shanty at them, or
Yeah.
a space shanty?
Alrighty, acapella.
No,
Let's
I
do
wanna-
it.
I want to like piggyback their signal and be like, "Oh, we're in trouble. Come help us, please." You know, just to give them shit for their terrible ruse.
How very piratey.
Okay. You can absolutely try and like with the knowledge that this is probably a booby trap, you can approach really slowly and identify the equipment that they're using. It's probably just like a little mini satellite, and there are probably also some like traps set up, little micro EMPs that you can avoid, but you can go ahead and try and hack their equipment to send them a signal.
We should also graffiti the satellite.
Yeah, you're gonna go out there and do that?
Maybe if you get past the EMPs, is it worth it?
Do we have spacesuits? Are we space worthy?
Yeah.
We should have
We
back
definitely have
suits.
spacesuits.
We bought several of them.
Dax is in a graffitiing mood. As soon as this is brought up, he's like, aye. He just like rushes out of the room, gets in his spacesuit, gets his aerosol sprays ready.
Well, you all have boarding.
Meanwhile,
You also have boarding tubes, so my guess is like you could open the airlock and like move the ship laterally to bring like the satellite on board, and then repressurize and.
So they have little mini EMPs. Is there a way we can like scoop them? Can we just be like, yoink our mini EMPs now?
Ooh.
Those are like, they probably have like a
Feel safe.
proximity trigger,
Proximity charge, yeah.
so I
I
would
think we'll avoid.
not
Do
expect you to be able to do that.
do you like the idea of Dax getting excited and going out with a can of spray paint and then like wallying his way around space, just
Yes.
spraying paint and shooting himself around in a vacuum?
If you really want to, Greg, I don't know if you've seen The Expanse, but I'd imagine that the proximity trigger won't be triggered by just like a person coming by. So if you want to go out in your spacesuit and like float towards it and then try and like disable it.
I'm gonna spray paint their satellite. I'm gonna be like, Dax was here, lol. ACAB, all corporations are bad. And then I will like make my way to the mini EMPs and try to snoink one.
Snoink one?
Yeah.
Please define snoink for me.
You know, it's like when you float up to it and you're like snoink, and you grab it and take it home.
Okay. I'm gonna need like a fix check from you to disable the proximity trigger.
We have stem batons. What if he takes a stem baton out with him to short circuit it so we can bring it back on board?
Okay.
Will you give him a +1 on the check if we expend one off our inventory?
I will give him a -1 if you do.
I think you should take it, Greg.
Greg's in such a punchy mood, so you know I almost expect him to take it.
I snoink like successfully. My aerosol cans no longer work. Like, I'm stuck.
Okay.
I'll get in my suit and go out to help him.
Yeah, he triggers the EMP, which he has like 5 minutes of air with his suit deactivated.
Oh god damn it!
All right, yeah, I
We're
get
going, someone get him. Send the shuttle out.
Is that grappling hook working there, Lettuce?
No, it needs another. We need another moment at a place repairing it. But I go out with an extra boarding tube and to just shove him into and go and rescue him.
Your image of what a boarding tube and my image of what a boarding tube are two different things.
So the boarding tube is just something that sticks out from the ship.
Oh, sorry. What's whatever. I don't know. I fly out with. I don't have a. There's no
motorcycle.
Into. Yeah, I'll just ride out with one of those scooters. And
Okay.
Ride back.
Let us give me a pilot to get out there to him in time. By the time, and this can be Dex, since this is going to be a speed. Okay. Dax is getting low on oxygen by the time you reach him, but you're able to get him back to the ship just in time. And he like gives you the thumbs up. Yeah.
As I hold up the broken EMP.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a vac fresher which refreshes oxygen, and it runs on Type A power cells, of which we have like 40 of them.
Excellent.
So I set that out with them.
Cool.
Okay.
We'll get him there. We're good.
Perfect. Okay. So you are able to pick up their little satellite, and I'm gonna need a hack check to piggyback on their signal and send one of your own using it.
Is that my purview?
If you
I
want.
can do it too. You're busy piloting. I gotcha. Is this program? What's the?
Go for it.
I keep saying
What's the
hack,
hack?
but yes, program. And this would also be intelligence or wisdom. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're able to plug in your data pad, get through their rudimentary encryption. Oh, actually, that might not be correct. Let me check out. Nope, they've
Guess
got.
what, Andy? It's DC 14.
It's not rudimentary.
Combined 9 on a 2d6.
No. 10 is fine. It's not rudimentary, but it is probably very rushed. Job.
I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect. I just need to be able to get on their system
Right.
to like mock them for their bad for their shitty plan and be like, hey, we need to talk.
Okay, is that
we need a parlay, brother?
Yeah. So you send a message, and you get a message almost like right away back to your data pad. Actually, let me roll on behalf of this hacker. Oh, my dice are...
Is it a text like message, not a voice one? Okay, so I write it in that like meme mocking type where it's like alternating caps and lowercase letters.
EMP.
Yeah. So your data pad just kind of like the screen like flickers and goes black, and then there is like the DOS screen or whatever, the command prompt.
Command prompt.
Yeah, and it's just like, who is this? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, an EMP! How will we survive? This is oh, here you want me to type in my responses?
No, it's fine.
Just tell you. Okay. This is Team Bella, also known as the Retribution, also known as do we have any other titles?
The Love Connection.
Love Connection.
Also known as the Love Connection.
And the Retro Lover.
And the Retro Lover. We've been fucking shit up for the corpos. We need your help because we're about to fuck shit up even worse.
Give me a talk.
Yeah.
Elite speak, are you?
Oh no, an EMP. How will we survive?
Is this going to be another one of these things where I have like full charisma and I should be able to sell this, but I keep rolling terribly like I did with the ants last year? Okay, good.
A 9 is fine.
Right.
These are not ants you're dealing with.
As you can see. Like...
you keep bringing it up, clearly. What do you want?
We want to speak to as many of your number as we can because shit is changing out there, and you can't ignore it in here anymore. We have to do something.
Please hold.
This growing fascism.
Please hold.
Please
this
hold.
Fascism will come for you.
Please hold.
You can't put it on hold.
Yes, they
so
say
like
please hold.
You got like the temp at the pirate industry. They're like, I don't know how I came out here for pirates, but I'm gonna need you to hold, sir. I need to go talk to Garglebutt.
Garglebutt. And an hour goes by.
Okay, I send a message into the hold signal that says that tries a new approach of just mocking them and saying, listen, if you're too scared to fight Black Ops soldiers, then let us know that we're wasting our time with your sorry ass. And
while this is going on, I reposition the ship so we're not where the EMP went off, if possible.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I cleared it out.
Good job, buddy.
Another hour goes by.
I'm going to put the ship in a position where we can get maybe a wider range of sensor scan so that we can tell if we're going to be met by a pirate armada, maybe a little bit before they show up.
Okay.
Why don't we just go deeper?
Well, I want to see them coming, and then when we see them coming, then we'll go deeper and hide and see what they do.
I don't want to hide. I want to find them.
Okay. We can just like blast music out into space and let them come to us.
Yeah. I think we like Brian said, just turn off the music and chill, wait for them. Show them that we're not hunting and we're willing to wait to talk to them.
You, after about another 30 minutes, receive a message with that says, we need to make sure we can trust you. Follow these coordinates. And there is a diagram with like navigational data, basically a map leading you deeper into the reef.
Is it possible for me to take our ship's transponder and put it on the shuttle so that I can fly the route they described, and on their sensors they will think it's the whole ship?
No, transponders are pretty hard built into ships. You'd have to do a lot of disassembly to remove it. And
I
ships
can't believe we don't just trust these pirates on their face, you know? They seem like such good people. To definitely do what they say, and nothing could go wrong.
Yeah, let's. I my vote is to show the trust and try and meet them where they are. We're trying to appeal to the masses. We need to build an army, so. But I don't want to make that decision alone. Like, you know.
Nora, what do you think?
And what feedback do you want here, Captain? Oh, Captain.
Cast a vote.
We've been engaged by pirates. They've given us directions. We could be being led into a trap. We could be being led into a discussion. Should we go in?
We have a way of
cautiously?
communicating. We can continue to communicate with them. But if you're worried about wandering into a trap, then clearly you know what to do. I shouldn't have to fucking say anything. You're
All
in
right.
charge of the ship security. Fucking secure the ship, Captain. Come on.
damn.
That was a fantastic non-answer, Nora. Your diplomacy skills are improving. I'm very proud of you.
They are. I have a +1 in talk now.
I was gonna say John leveled up his apathy last year.
Oh.
We came out here to make contact. We've made contact. We need to continue to pursue it, but we should be ready and cautious. And if we see a large armada of ships show up, be ready to either defend ourselves or get the hell out if things go crazy. Yep. All right, keep communicating with them, let us, as we go. And Sunny will steer the ship in the direction of the set instructions.
Yes.
I think as we're going in, I will like broadcast into the radio our sort of like our accomplishments so far, the different corporate things we've taken out and or prisons broken into and broken out of, and make sure that they know who they're dealing with.
You're doing this into the radio or to the satellite?
Into the whatever, the way that I'm talking to the pirates, the way that they told us follow, as Lokaran said in our chat, these coordinates. While we're following that, I think I'll just broadcast back, like, you know, some of our accomplishments so that they know who they're dealing with.
You get the reply, "We are familiar."
Excellent.
All
right.
Okay. You are approaching the final destination of the coordinates that you were given. And you can tell with what limited sensors you have and how, well, with how limited your sensors are working, that you are approaching kind of like a cul-de-sac, so to speak, in this particular tunnel. And up ahead, your sensors can't quite see it, but you can see a large ship ahead. This is the a frigate. So approximately the same size ship as yours. And it also looks very well equipped.
Alone?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Can we turn? What's our current weaponry on our ship?
So this ship, the Team Bella, has oh no, those are defenses. You all have a plasma beam, which is a pretty decent weapon, and then you're able to eject your reactor's emissions using a Reaper battery.
Got it. I just want to have like one. You said we're coming into like a little cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to have like one weapon already trained on the entrance to the cul-de-sac behind us as we're approaching this person.
Okay. Yeah, and they're able to, as you draw really close and sensors begin to actually work in sensing the ship and giving you information, you can see that their weapons are on, but not targeting you. And they can tell that your weapons are on and now pointing opposite of them, at which point you receive a hail from their ship,
Ew.
which is, you can see now is called the Derelict 8. And you are hailed by a Captain Thor. He introduces himself as a member of the Blunder Buccaneers, of the Pirate Alliance.
I kick lettuce. Give him a nod.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Captain. We are, and I list all of our titles as if we were royalty. Prison breaker. I don't know what another good.
Mother of Dragons.
Mother of Dragons, yes, the unburned.
Stormborn. Yeah. I got it. Okay. He says, yes, the Pirate Alliance's security team ordered me to come and inspect you before leading you to our base. Would it be all right if we boarded your ship and inspected, searched for any sign of corporate hardware or personnel?
Dot is not on board our ship anymore, right? Dot is not on board.
Correct.
Not on board.
That is not
Okay.
on board.
So it's just Bundy and Mouse are the other two entities.
Did
And
you,
a killer
We
clown
got
from
the
outer
alien.
space.
Yeah.
Huh?
We have our alien and me.
We do have the alien.
Leader for
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Cool. All right. No, I didn't. I just imagine trying to think of corporate things that would set these guys on edge. Because
Just warn them that I will be plaguing their steps with funny shoes. You know.
Yeah. I let them know that if you hear a sinister squeaking and like a sharpening of knives over your shoulder, that's how he says "I love you."
well, personally, I'm
people I
a
love.
big fan. You all can call me Colin, but yeah, my personnel and I will be on board shortly. And they will send over a shuttle that will dock up with you. They'll search the ship. There will be a bit of fanboying and fangirling from their personnel, fan peopling, and they will clear you, and then they will have you follow them very deep into the reef. They say that like you should expect this to take like the rest of the day because again the reef is massive. And from what you can tell, you are heading to the core of the reef.
Am I able to create a map from what we're traversing so far?
Yes.
These charts are like, this is privileged information. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the reef doesn't really move very much. It's not like the tunnels change a great deal. But the tunnels do get smaller. So like they're going to start sending you data basically to automate and have your ship like pre-programmed maneuvers, just to make sure that you don't bump against the side and take out your entire ship.
Cool.
Okay. So, as you get towards the center of the reef, up ahead, you can see that there is a massive, massive chasm open up. If you have seen The Expanse, especially the later seasons, that space. I'm not going to elaborate, so I'm not spoiling anything, but
So you're saying it's expansive. Got it.
it's an expansive space. Yes. And you all probably drop your jaws a little bit at the sight here. There is the Genesis ship is here. The ship sent from Earth to traverse the Orion Belt is sitting here in its majesty in the middle of the reef.
Isn't it like an antique at this point?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
Apollo mission shit. Okay.
I mean, it's not that low tech, but it is in fact very high tech for when it was made.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And painted in massive letters on the side of this Genesis ship, which is probably bigger than any carrier ship, which is the largest size ship in this in the rule book. It is probably slightly bigger than a carrier ship. And in big letters painted on the side is the Blue Horizon, which historically you would know is the name of the Genesis ship that came this way. It is white and silver, sleek, design, very rounded features, not very many hard edges. The ship has huge engines on the back. It has these kind of like protruding hangars and launch bays that you can see, kind of like a Battlestar Galactica, but not quite that like large and clunky. But despite its sleek design, the ship looks highly damaged, especially on the kind of near the periphery, the edges, so to speak. It looks like the ship has just been torn apart in many ways. But most of the side facing you is actually quite clean, and there are dozens and dozens and dozens, if not like 100 or so ships, all attached to one another on the side of the Blue Horizon. But before you get quite that far, you see that there, as you kind of enter and exit the cavern into this massive, massive space, there are hundreds and hundreds of ships here just flying around on their own, not to mention the 100 or so that are lashed together to the Blue Horizon. There are many, many different types of ships that you can see as you approach, especially as there are kind of some security vessels that are posted all around this entrance, and several other entrances leading out into the reef in different directions. You can see that there are, anything from shuttles to frigates to cruisers. There are ships that are, retrofitted with mining equipment. There are ships that have hydroponic attachments to them. There are even ships that have huge platforms for other ships to land on for repairs, and there's just a huge amount of activity, and all the ships that you can see have the kind of painting that you all have put on your ship, markings both physical and stylized to really give the ship's character, and from what you can tell, there are dozens and dozens of different pirate factions here, big and small. Okay. Any questions about what you're seeing here?
Is the Blue Horizon being used like, I'm imagining like the Citadel, in Mass Effect, right? Like there's this big giant mothership, right? Is it like the place where everyone docks and goes and does their business and hangs out? There's like a working bar somewhere. I don't know.
Okay, one on each floor.
My name is Dax, and this is my favorite store, the Citadel. Yeah. So the ship, I'm imagining the Blue Horizon is probably like a third of a mile long, maybe more. So like as big as the Empire
blocks.
State Building or bigger. And the like where all the ships are kind of like lashed together, and as you draw closer, you're going to see that there are in fact ships that are welded like to the hull, and there's in fact evidence of a lot of welding of the hull and ships to each other, basically making this massive flotilla. And you can see that there are lots of areas. There probably wouldn't be windows of a Genesis ship because there wouldn't have been personnel on board, so there wouldn't have been need for windows. How would I portray this? You can see that there's a lot of
windows.
What's that?
Are welded. Our ships have windows, right?
Yes, yeah, you can see, especially through like the cockpit.
And we just see the windows on the ships that are welded to the vessel, right?
Yeah. All those ships, like you can see, like they have lights on. There's like a hum to them, and localized around where this, I'll just call it a flotilla of lashed together ships. There is a lot of welding locally of the Blue Horizon there. And then the further away you get, there's just like, as you can see closer, loose panels pried up. There's lots of damage, clearly areas where atmosphere has not been sealed. So you would expect there to be only small parts of the Blue Horizon that are being used right now.
How big is it?
The Blue Horizon, like about a third of a mile long.
Several city blocks.
Yeah, like it's huge. And here we go. This would also help explain it. As you're getting closer, you can also see into the hangars and launch bays that are kind of like sticking out a little bit. And you see ships that are, or you see vehicles that are, there's drones that are just like small drones. Then you see things that are like shuttle sized. You also see like ships that like Corvette sized ships that are Genesis tech ships. So this is like an aircraft carrier of a ship that would like from your study of any history of it, would fly into a solar system and dispatch tons of other ships that are fitted with sensors and other equipment to start to terraform areas on planets that were habitable for humans. And a lot of times, like, it would just leave behind like Corvette-sized ships in solar systems to do work, and it would move on. But there's still quite a few vehicles still on the Genesis ship on the Blue Horizon, and a couple of the hangars have lights on. You can see activity in some of the hangars and launch bays. The engine, like the main engine at the rear of the ship, is not on, however. You
Cool.
then receive a hail, this time from a ship called the Lavender Groove.
Oh shit!
We know that
I
captain's
recognize
name already.
Yes, that is I had it right here. Shoot. Captain Veneer.
Captain Veneer better got an apology ready. That's what I am hearing. Oh,
This is Security Captain Veneer of the Lavender Groove. welcome
Dan.
to the Cove, I suppose.
I remember you.
Yes,
You
yes.
still on our ship? It's super hot right now.
Well, I see that you all are flying a new ship these days. Not the Love Connection?
I see you're still flying your old one.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
high five, fucking lettuce. That was a good one. That was a good bit.
well.
Thanks for keeping us safe.
Well, you have stirred up quite the hubbub here at the Cove. Again, welcome. I'm going to send you docking coordinates with the Cove, so that you may meet with some of our leadership.
Nice.
If you have any security questions while you're here, please hail the Lavander Groove. And signs off.
Yeah. I feel like Lettuce miscalculated how jolly and silly pirates would be. He's expecting to have to trade on shitty irreverence, and they're all very serious.
Yeah, I think how the pirate culture shows up here is every single ship looks different. There is not the uniform, everyone's flying the same 10 ships, the same 10 shuttles, and they're not all the same color or colors, that were made put by corporations. These are just really old beat up ships that everyone's flying and have kept together with duct tape and super glue.
All right.
Except of course the Blue Horizon, which is just a rough diamond in the rough. Yeah, and you are given basically one of the 100 ships that are kind of lashed together to dock with. And you are escorted into a room with 5 of their leadership. You are brought before Juno the Banshee, who is Pirate Queen of the Reefers, Admiral Draxler of the Draxler Raiders, Ava Laureate, Chief Engineering Officer of the Candid Corsairs, Colin Thor meets you from the Derelict 8, and then Theon Hammond, who is just called Omega of the Children of Genesis. And I'll go ahead and copy all of these over for you all. I will go ahead and bring this back up so we can see these better. Admiral Draxler, Draxler's Raiders. Colin Thor of the Blunderbuss Buccaneers.
Lettuce greets each of them, repeating their titles with a lot of pomp and reverence, except for what's the last guy's title?
Omega of the Children of Genesis.
Yeah, I'm just your name is fucking ridiculous, bro. Just be thanks, Jan.
Okay, so let me quickly. So Juno the Banshee is just this woman in leathers, leather jacket, leather pants, belts. She's just a badass pirate queen. Admiral Draxler is this very punk looking dude with a spiked mohawk. Looks just really mean. He looks like a killer. He's very serious. We have Ava Laureate. She has cybernetic legs and some cyberpunk hair, probably pink. We have Colin Thor, who is just he looks very clean and put together, like a dress shirt. Nothing special about him except he's missing a hand. And then Theon Hammond, he looks like he is affluent. Like he looks like a rich corporate guy.
Yeah.
But Juno is gonna take the lead. And welcome to all of you. If I'm being honest, we're quite surprised that you're here. We got your message. Apologies for the delay in response. We weren't expecting you and needed to make some quick decisions about what it meant and if we could trust you and what it would take to trust you. And here you are. Welcome.
To be fair, nobody expects the Daxquisition.
Yes. Yes.
Slap tax for a stupid pun. We're in front of betters. We will treat them with respect.
Thank you. You must be Norm Tamaj?
God, I went to such great lengths to hide my name, but
Didn't you get plastic surgery last session too?
I did get plastic
hide your
surgery.
face.
I'm not in clown makeup anymore, and I'm fine.
And
You
she
know
sa-
what? It's fine.
And she says
It's
it questioningly, like Norm Tamaj? Like, by process of elimination, you look different than the photos.
Yes, I do. But it's nice to meet you. I am, in fact, Norm Tamaj.
Excellent.
We introduce ourselves and our alien friend.
Wonderful. It's a pleasure to be a host to the ancestral progenitors of this star sector.
What is Diarin's cultural understanding of the reef? Their civilization would have existed near this thing.
Right, but their civilization was basically just learning how to learning large distance space travel.
Right.
And
Did they have like a mythological sense of the reef or anything, or is it just something in the sky? Just to know if entering it was like significant for.
You even see it from a planet?
I don't know.
They might not have known about it until they were like
Nick
outside.
spout lore.
I know.
Yeah, Nick,
I hadn't thought about this. This is interesting. I honestly, you can probably see the reef from most planets on a clear day. Definitely from moons or some moons. I mean, it's huge. It's humongous. The reef.
It's like a big purple cloud in the sky.
Yeah. There's probably something to the reef in their lore, their culture. And I bet it has something to do with when the reef lines up between both of the, Minerva and Diana.
Oh, it's a third societal role, a special one. You can be born under Minerva, or you could be born under I want to say Artemis, but that's not right.
Diana, or you can be born under the cloud.
Or you could be born under the pink cloud. You could be born under the sign of Aphrodite.
Yeah. Exactly.
Say children of Kirby, be the pink cloud kids.
Children of Kirby.
There we go.
So I suppose some historical context is within order, as we've gone to great lengths to keep this place a secret. This is the Cove. As you can see, we have the blue horizon here, which we discovered about 10 years ago. Myself and the rest of the reefers. And slowly over time, we have invited other pirate factions to join us in exploring and stabilizing the ship and making it our home. And it has been the linchpin of a great alliance of pirates. And many of those who have sought to live free and independent of capitalist rule and life. Here, the five of us are leaders of the five of the largest factions within our conglomerate, so to speak. Represented are the Reefers, the Draxler's Raiders, the Candid Corsairs, the Blunder Buccaneers, and the Children of Genesis. And you all would have heard a lot about some of these major pirate factions. And I can kind of describe each of them to you. So like the Reefers are ferocious and rowdy space pirates who've always been known as living deep in the reef. Draxler's Raiders are very individualistic pirates who disable ships before boarding them. They tend to be very violent, ransoming crew and cargo alike. The Candid Corsairs are very tech-savvy pirates with very highly outfitted ships that are known to make reasonable threats and keep their word. They could show up and just blow up ships and take everything they want, but they oftentimes make deals to take much less in exchange for compliance, and rarely have an excuse to use their fancy toys. The Blunder Buccaneers are known as scavengers, thieves, and hackers who incite factions to fight among one another so that they can pick the battlefields clean. And then you also would recognize the name the Children of Genesis. They are not pirates. These are a group of religious fanatics, people who worship Genesis technology. People who believe that the Genesis ships and the technology that terraformed planets are like Messiah. It's like they believe in Messiah technology. And they believe that Genesis technology holds the key to human ascension and evolution. You would not expect them to be working with, you would not expect pirates to be working with them or them to be working with pirates. But the fact that the Genesis ship is here kind of starts to explain that.
Makes the connection.
Yeah, there's a connection.
Cool.
I mean, they gotta consolidate power however they can. So
yeah. And so we have dozens and dozens of pirate factions, some as large as just a family. And we have many, many other refugees and people who've just decided to come live here. And we have a society that sort of works. We've mostly been trying to transition some of our societal behavior away from criminal activity, Breaking Bad, so to speak, with what the Genesis ship will allow us to do. We have used some of its large space inside to create agriculture and other forms of resource gathering and renewal.
That sounds intense. You know, I have a robot friend that likes to grow things. I would love to introduce her to that. Or that.
Look at Dax, who is now offering either a
I was gonna say, I feel
religious idol to the
I feel
church.
several of us are like putting hands up at Dax. We're like, hold. Like,
Can we not give them a new god for a moment, real quick, and instead focus on what we're here to do?
Right. Okay, so here's the deal. There's a war coming. The corporate entities are not separate. They are actually a shadowy cabal that run the world. Shocking, I know. And we need people that are outside of their influence that want to help put an end to that. So here we are. You in?
You in? Just like that.
That's the pitch.
True.
Well,
yeah, it is actually the pitch.
Juno, I imagine that in trying to keep things peaceful, you have pirates who still want to be violent who don't have as good an outlet anymore. Those probably causing trouble for you, aren't they?
She kind of like makes eyes in Draxler's direction, who's just staring menacingly at you all. And she says, there are those that still feel that we are not quite stable enough to part from some of our more criminal and less savory behaviors, but we have made a pact that no one shall be forced away from that lifestyle, since we are still quite scarce on many resources.
Well, maybe the love connection could help connect and redirect some of those impulses to a more worthy cause, and starting to send that aggression towards those who really deserve it.
It's certainly something that we are going to need to consider. What you've certainly been able to see the military resources that we have at our disposal on your way in. We have many ships outfitted with weapons of different degrees. But what complement do you bring besides your one stolen Black Ops ship?
We bring hope. Depression has. I'm sorry.
Draxler just goes, "Oh."
Here's the deal. So we're well connected with a billionaire who like wants to fight the corporations. So you need resources. We have infinite resources.
We know one of the good rich guys.
No. Here's the thing. Yeah, like all billionaires are evil. So I'm more than happy to take anything he has and bring it here for you.
Omega Theon Hammond folds his arms.
Yeah, it includes you, buddy. You're not immune.
Captain Sunny, I believe you were in the middle of saying something less offensive, I hope.
Oppression breeds many forms. You have a society here. You have structure. Trying to bring yourself to a place where you're self-sufficient. But we all know the reason that we're stuck here. You were stuck here in the middle of the reef doing this. You've been pushed into this location because this is the only place where you are safe. As long as there are those out there that are willing to oppress society, that are willing to step on their throats to gain what they want, there's always going to be that threat there for you. The corporations have banded together, and they are continuing to push on the necks of the common people. They will continue to push on them unless somebody does something about it. You are here, and you are safe, and you have a wonderful system set up, but even this place can't be safe forever. We ask you...
Oh, never mind. My bad.
Yeah, it is your bad. Don't interrupt him.
I thought he was done. I was gonna add to it. My bad.
Slap, Sonny. I'm just slapping everyone.
Oh, dramatic pause. Norm, give me a break here. Anyway, where was I? Shit. We are seeking help. Those who would wish to push back against the oppression. Those who wish to take charge and... It's the best way to put it. To take your own place amongst a free society. We work with those who are fighting the corporations. We seek allies. Because this fight will be at your doorstep. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but eventually it's going to rear its ugly head. Better to act now while those of strength and power are willing to work with you.
As you are saying this, quite honestly, wonderful speech, Brian. Juno is nodding her head in agreement. can you give me a lead charisma check?
Sure. Oh, hey, it's not a -1, +0.
Clearly, I am helping him because I have slapped 2 of our people.
Yes.
His
Keep us quiet.
to build his image up, right?
Sure, take +1.
Hell yeah.
We'll take +1. Lead charisma. That's a 7.
Fucking hell.
Draxler just does and like puts his hand on his chin and is like considering what you're saying, and for the first time just kind of like looks down at like the table in between you all and is just kind of like staring through it. He's being very like considerate at the moment. Colin Thor, who like has already clearly identified himself as a fanboy of you all, is like nodding. And Theon Hammond is still like arms folded. The Omega of the Children of Genesis. Now Ava Laureate, as soon as there is like a pause, unless any of the rest of you want to add in, Ava will speak next.
I just want to add that if we're, if we can help serve as ambassadors to bring the Reef's, the Reef's teachings and style out into the rest of the system, we could also bring the Genesis back out into the light. I look significantly at Theon when I say
that. Theon looks bewildered at this comment.
Okay, excellent.
I'm sorry, Andy.
That's okay.
No, I think that's what he's going for.
Well,
I'm swinging for the fences here.
I know you are. You just don't know much about this person yet, and I'm trying to play true to them. But yeah, Ava Laureate will say, and what are you? So you're saying we take down this cabal and the corporate reign over the system, and what do you propose comes after that? What is your ultimate goal? You and this good rich boy.
I am the most ideologically driven, so I feel like I should speak, but I look to Sonny meaningfully, asking for permission.
I give you a curt nod.
What comes next after we defeat these tyrannical businesses will be up for the people to decide. We don't plan to usher in a new age of tyranny just because we don't like the current heads. People will naturally find leadership amongst themselves, and from there we will rebuild and renew ourselves as a society. I would prefer the society be more cooperative than the current one, which is far too competitive.
I think we would all prefer that. Ava continues. But there'll be so much left behind, so much technology and power. Who do you see taking over all of that?
I suppose all of us. It will be the
Galactic
new
vote.
responsibilities.
people.
Not at you, but at Ava's question, there is a bit of kind of like, not eye rolling. What's less than eye rolling?
Snarky scoff.
Yes.
Hemming and hawing.
Yeah, I think like quiet scoffing, like nonverbal scoffing from the others at Ava. Thank you, Soul Crusher. So yeah, from this interaction so far, you can tell that there is tension between the leadership here. Obviously.
Good.
Well, you've given us a lot to consider, says Juno, cutting in. And we will need time, of course, to discuss this and details to hash out. I'm sure your travel has been long and arduous. We are in the middle of preparing accommodations for you all, if you would prefer to stay here, if not on your ship. We of course want to leave that up to you. And if you should choose to no, I think they'd leave it at that. You're welcome to stay on your ship or here. And I expect you would like to tour our facility when you
Yes.
once you've rested. And I'm sure you have much to discuss yourselves. Why don't we adjourn? We'll be happy to send you with some food if you'd like.
Thank you. You are most gracious.
Sonny will return to the ship, fashion a shield out of a dustpan and a stick, and like take the unwield a broom handle and put Mouse on guard duty at the entrance to our ship as we stay with the pirates.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Sticking with the pointy end. Yeah.
Mouse, I just unscrewed the broom handle. There's no pointy ends. All solid ends. You hit them in the head if they
Stick
start.
them with the thready end.
Oh my God! But
Yes.
that'll just give them a bruise.
Therefore, you should look very intimidating so you don't actually have to fight. I trust you can handle it. I slap him on the back really hard and walk away.
Like this. And he tries to be intimidating.
He fails massively.
That'll do.
Surprise, surprise.
That'll do, Mouse. That'll do. And I walk
I just drop kick the shield and knock him over.
Ah!
All right, let's move on.
All right. So why don't we, when we come back, we can have like a team discussion about these what we've discovered on the other side of our break. We will be right back. All right. So, Andy, were you serious about the flashback?
I just want to add that I'm going to start planting the seed about trying to seduce the pirate queen. You said she was decked out top to bottom in leather. So as she says, enjoy your stay, as we're departing, I lean in and quietly say, thanks, mommy, and wink at her.
How seductive.
I'm going to,
Yeah.
I think I need to, what do I type to roll in secret?
/GM roll.
/GM space roll? Or GM
I'm pretty
roll?
sure it's one word.
You determining the effectiveness of my
Oh,
horny
wait.
wink?
Everyone in the chat can see it.
Oh my
It's
god!
my
Okay,
account.
okay. I can beat that. I can beat that. Give me any roll. I can beat it.
No, that's your roll. I tried to
Oh,
roll it in
that's my
secret, and then
roll?
I forgot that it's
No.
my
I want to roll my fucking +2 charisma against this.
Okay. Roll.
No.
Roll.
You have to beat 8. Look,
Roll-
she's attracted to me now. Because we rolled the same number.
I want to make you roll something really silly, like exert. Like it's such
Right.
powerful eyebrow. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, just
Charisma
roll talk.
work.
Roll talk.
He just called a pirate queen mommy. Make him roll a survival check.
Oh, no.
Got a +1 there, buddy?
Is
Hiding somewhere?
is anyone helping?
No.
He's on his own for that one.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Me, Dax, and Sonny just like, oh yeah, thanks, Mom. How can we help him? Is my question.
I think it's the middle ground. She kind of gives you a smile, like she's not put off by this, but she's not like engaging with that energy. She's just like, okay.
All right. Hey, seeds planted.
I think we sing the walk of shame song at him as he walks away. It's like you shot your shot, you missed your mark, and now you do the walk. The
No
walk
shame.
of shame.
Dax,
No shame.
Styaren, was that an attempt at mating? Is that what Lettuce?
You want to call it an attempt?
Surely she's not Lettuce's mother.
I put a hand on Diane's back.
Don't touch me. Slap.
Oh,
With the
touched me.
lobster claw.
Finally, he's
With
one
the-
us. All right, now sing with us, our crab friend.
Okay.
Lettuce is totally unbashful. Seeds planted. We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
All right. So you head back to your ship. You get Mouse set up, and then you're able to head to your the quarters they have prepared for you. Before you leave your ship, do you all want to have a conversation in private, like your reaction to all this?
Yeah.
Well,
What are we gonna do in the ship, guys?
Like we're each going to take a soul crystal and go diving into the depths of the Genesis and restart its dead hearts.
I want to investigate the Genesis ship for sure.
Yeah.
If it's just a hulk, like a drifting hulk that they're lashed onto and like stabilizing, we may be able to turn it back on.
They've offered to give you like a tour tomorrow. I was looking more of like a reaction to like who they are, and
Definitely not the pirates that Dax expected them to be.
Same.
Dax is probably Dax has not been a very political person, right? But he's probably like, all right, I need 6 dictionaries and 4 copies of every manifesto I can find. And I gotta be able to speak their lingo. And he's in research mode while having mini anxiety attacks every 5 seconds because he's out of drugs and still hasn't picked any up.
There's got to be
seriously.
narcotics in a pirate den.
there
Thor is quick. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
there are vice dens. Like if you all go exploring a little bit before you turn in, like you name it, they've got it.
Dax drops his 6 different dictionaries and is lost in a vice den for the
He
next
walks out of a bookstore and just like I'm imagining like a mall, like the
Yes.
like Greg the Washington Square Mall. He just walks out of a Barnes and Noble, just drops the books and just walks across into a
Yeah.
vice den.
exactly like that.
He's like, how did I miss that? Sorry, Andy, go ahead.
No. Thor is clearly a fan, and Laureate is clearly a believer, which are things to leverage as we go forward. Draxler also thirsts for violence, which is something that I think we should try to take advantage of since our needs right now are violent. So just things to think about. And I'll note, obviously, I fumbled trying to appeal to Theon. I don't speak his language, so I don't know how we can leverage him yet. But Thor, Draxler, and Laureate seem like the people to aim at.
Each person will have a motivation, something that drives them, whether it's adventure or violence or purpose or money. But I'm highly encouraged because any type of leadership society can be encouraged or prodded or pushed or manipulated. Whatever we need to do to get more on our side.
John, could your stage painting skills create like a Mission Impossible style realistic mask of a person?
My stage hand skills?
your stage painting, like your face painting skills for your doing your clown makeup, like could you like make like a Mission Impossible style, like, you know, perfect mask of another person?
No, there's no way.
Okay. All right, never mind. Cool.
However,
End
Yeah.
of thread.
Now I'm
we
just
came here
imagining.
for an army. Fuck you. We came here for an army. That's what we're here to get, so that we can actually fight a fleet. The corporations don't have limitless resources. Running businesses is expensive. Running militaries and businesses is going to be insane for them. So the longer we can draw this out, or the more people we can inspire to unrest, the better chance we have of getting what we want.
Agreed.
So yeah, I want to definitely explore the ship though, because chances are these guys don't have any fucking clue what they're sitting on.
Okay.
Other than Theon, potentially.
Maybe we'll find out.
Andy, when you asked the question about copying Philip Seymour Hoffman's face and whether or not Norm could do that, I was just imagining Norm like bringing out this massive like suitcase-sized thing that folds out with like a ton of makeup, except he always keeps it secret until you sneak in one day and you open it yourself and it unfolds and there's just black on one side and just white on the other. Okay. So the night will pass as you all get accustomed to the strange noises of their ships all lashed together. And you stay in some pretty nice quarters in kind of like what you I should describe this first. As you're kind of walking through the various ships, and especially as you head out like to the market kind of district, we'll call it, it's just a bunch of spaceships, like, and you're walking like through bulkheads and realizing, oh, I've just moved from one spaceship of one kind of interior design to an entirely different one, and oh, there's like what looks like it was a cargo area, and it's been, you know, converted over into like several shops, like makeshift shops, or cooking areas and like places where people eat. But several of the much nicer ships are kind of the areas where you like met with their leadership, and where some of like these guest quarters are. You see that there's several other offices where people are busy like taking calls and like talking about like
Taking calls?
yeah, like they're, it's kind of like a city office sort of setup in this like
But like from who?
like other ships, other vessels.
They're just scamming businesses and old people.
Extended warranty.
Yeah. There's some clearly overworked desk pencil pusher who's receiving a complaint about like the quality of the water over in like the galactic north area of this like flotilla. That sort of thing. And then they're like it's like the mix between a city hall and like an apartment complex prop like office, like receiving maintenance calls. So some middle ground between the two, you know.
Sounds like a very fun spin-off of the IT crowd.
Also on my list of things to watch. And at the very top of that list of things is, of course, Clue. Ryan.
Top of that list for like
ApolloNik.
2 years, Nick.
Clue the movie?
Yeah,
No, the board game.
I'll watch that. Go ahead. I don't think I own Clue.
Competitive Clue.
Okay, so the next day they'll serve you breakfast. It's kind of like a continental breakfast. But they like, who will it be that meets with you? I think Ava Laureate, the chief engineering officer of the Candid Corsairs, as well as someone else will meet with you. Let me look at my list of characters here.
Did we not go out and about the night before to go to vice dens and other things?
Sure. Yeah.
Just,
you can totally do that.
Too. I just didn't know if we were planning that out.
Yeah. So Dax, you get totally drugged up. You're good to go.
Is there a good weapons workshop in the area where we're staying?
There is an entire like area of the market where there are just guns.
Can I finish upgrading my cartel blunderbuss's grappling hook? They can do that.
You're gonna stay up late to work on that?
Or pay somebody at one of these shops to do it.
So here's the thing. I'm actually planning on keeping you all here for a while.
Okay. Sorry, never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself.
So don't worry too much about it. You'll definitely have time here.
Okay.
So Ava Laureate of the Candid Corsairs will join you, and then someone else from the Blunderbuscaneers will join you, and her name is Kelly Karn. She is a mechanic. She's wearing like overalls. She's like very grimy already, like very early in the morning somehow. She looks like she's been working for at least an 8-hour shift, probably more. And she is super muscular. Yeah. Imagine what's the sister's name from Encanto?
Oh, I would have known if you hadn't just asked. The sister's name is Luisa.
Yes, they look like Louis, maybe like a little toned down Luisa. Thank you. Although I'm like looking at the list of actors and I'm not seeing that name under any of the actors' names. Oh no, there it is. Played by Jessica Darrow. Thank you. Okay, so and they are going to kind of like walk you through the markets and just be like, we understand that you saw some of this last night and you'll have plenty of time to check it out, but I'm sure that you're eager to see the blue horizon.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, so as mentioned, the Reefers found it about 10 years ago or so. And they decided that they wanted to just kind of like make it their hideout. And the ship was severely damaged. And they'll like pull up a holopad and show you the other side of the blue horizon. Like they'll just show you images of the other side of the blue horizon, the side that you haven't seen. And it is just like, it's like someone took a massive, gigantic lightsaber and just cut through it, like metal peeling back, black and charred, like completely fried, melted in some areas, torn apart. Like the other side of the ship, clearly not inhabitable.
Sonny will look at that and be like, "What did that damage?" What don't you know?
We're not really sure. Hard to imagine anything that could do this besides maybe some sort of alien ship. Like capital ship even, but hard to say. And this is Kelly Karn who's talking at this point. Clearly struck with some sort of massive energy weapon. And Diaren is just like, I've never seen anything like that. Certainly there are ships that in the Union that can do that much damage, but nothing in that sort of pattern. I'm not sure. And Kelly will just kind of shrug and continue to describe the ship. And it was a years-long endeavor to start to seal the place up, pressurize it with atmosphere, run power to certain sections so we can turn on the lights, and so on and so forth. we've explored quite a bit of the ship at this point, while still only been able to secure and seal like a small fraction of it. The computer systems themselves are very old and ancient. We've had to replace a lot of the computer mechanisms for things like closing doors, turning on the lights, that sort of thing. Especially since the old computers we just can't work with. And about 5 years ago or so, we kind of got a full picture of what the ship has got. It's got something that's labeled as a storm drive inside. And all this, and she like points outside, and she does this big sweeping motion. This entire area of the cove, the reef rather, it's being held back by this drive. In fact, it's the only thing on the ship that still had power for all this time, for centuries, apparently, since it got here. Well, we're not really sure when it got here, but the storm drive is holding back the reef. Otherwise, the reef probably would have overtaken this thing, and we suspect that it prevented quite a bit more damage. The reactor and mainframe as well are offline, and we just don't have the power to turn them on, at least not yet.
Guys, we have literally unlimited power. We want to turn it on?
We'll have to figure that out. And yes, I do. That's exactly what I want to do. How did you know, Dax? Are you actually telepathic? Did you read my mind as soon as I thought that?
You know, I did spend some time in a vice den the other night. Oh, it was so needed.
Ava and Kelly are like looking at each other and looking at you, Dax, kind of funny. Unlimited power?
We got
It's a
these like
euphemism.
crystals, they go and they make power.
Soul crystals, those are unreliable at best.
These
All
ones
right,
break.
Dax.
Pardon?
We've officially gone over the line. We keep that to ourselves right now.
What?
Anyway.
We're trying to get these people as allies. We've got unlimited power. They want
Yeah, but
like,
not her. We don't care about her. No offense. I don't think you're that.
I care about you. We care about people, okay?
He cares about
We
it.
hate corporations.
I put it down.
Is this an aside, or am I right here hearing you talk about me like this, Norm?
Yeah, you're right in front of me,
Okay.
for sure.
I'm assuming that Norm and I had that conversation like
like right. Okay.
I put one arm around Ava and one arm around Kelly and direct them towards the nearest window looking out and be like, please tell me. You guys have amazing things here and you've done an incredible job with this ship. There still has to be things that you need. Things that you just can't get out here. What is this lovely and amazing community still lacking?
Well, apparently, infinite power is something that exists and we don't have.
Yeah. I want infinite power. And I want to win the lottery. And I want to retire and just live my life on a beach. But you can only do so many things. Seriously, though, material-wise, what do you need out here?
Kelly of the Blunderbuccaneers kind of makes like a weird glance over towards Ava. And Ava says, well, we make do out here. Honestly, the only thing that's really keeping us like I said, we've been making do. But what's really getting in our way are those children of Genesis.
Can't trust billionaires.
True.
Want me to blow them up?
If only, if only.
I mean, it's a standing offer.
Kind of frowns at you and is looking like questioningly. We're good. They have been decent allies that have really injected a lot of wealth into our community. But as such, they hold a lot of power over us, namely via threat. They showed up about a year or two ago. Somehow they became aware of this place and have threatened their way into a position of power, stating that they would tell anyone and everyone that in the sector that they could about this place's existence, that they were entitled to Genesis technology, and if that they couldn't have it, that we couldn't have it. We couldn't have access to it either. They threatened our home.
How did they worm their way into Pirate Council by threatening the Pirate Council, and they got away with it?
There are thousands of people living in this area, and it's been a very well kept secret. Namely, our most prized possession is our secrecy, and they played hardball with us. And they say that they have what Andy, what is it called, the switch you call that you set up, that like every 2 minutes if I don't press the button, is that like a dead man switch, or is that
a dead man switch or a fail safe?
A fail safe. Yeah. Yes, they've threatened us with a fail safe with information of this place if we do not capitulate to them.
I can assure you, we will not try to manipulate you in this manner.
We're the nice manipulators,
right?
We're the good manipulators.
Yeah,
Right. Perhaps if you decide to join with us, then the need for secrecy won't be there any longer, and the power and sway they hold over you will mean nothing. And then who knows what'll happen? What
Very
kind of
well.
reaction am I getting from that?
Ava is nodding, and Kelly is looking very sheepishly towards Ava. Ava has the title of Chief Engineering Officer, and Kelly appears to be just a mechanic, although she's kind of like I guess an upper rank mechanic, she would have introduced herself as. But if you want to read more into this look, I'm going to need some sort of check, like a notice.
I'll give you a notice check with what attribute?
Probably wisdom or charisma.
Wisdom? All right, I'll do it with a charisma check. I want to get a vibe check. Do I think that with this information, do I think that I'm catching them in a lie about this children of Genesis, or are they trying to manipulate the situation themselves?
Oh no, they're trying to manipulate you in this situation.
Yeah.
And
I rolled a 12.
Yeah. You've noticed as soon as the conversation went kind of political that Ava has taken over. But Kelly's sheepishness seems to be like a deference to some sort of power that either Ava has or the Candid Corsairs have in this political schema. Kelly being of the Blunderbuss Buccaneers, and quite frankly, some of the clues from how some of the leadership reacted last night is also kind of cluing you into the fact that the Candid Corsairs also seem to have like to be on the benefiting side of the balance of power in this environment for some reason. Ava's gonna kind of nod and says, well, we'll have to continue conversation for sure, but for now, let's get you a tour, huh, Kelly? Please continue. And Kelly will kind of again sheepishly nod and then kind of move into that more natural state after a minute or two of starting to like give the tour. Unless there's other questions that you all have in this moment. Okay. So they will take you through the through the blue horizon. They'll show you some of the environments that they have managed to like secure with atmosphere that are sealed, have lights working and everything. There's a lot of like welded surfaces, the floor, the walls, the ceiling, all of that. It's a couple of floors that they have, and they lead towards like a couple of the hangars and launch bays. They have a number of storage areas with like agriculture set up, like they're growing a lot of stuff. They have a huge amount of space where they just have like scrap metal and welding equipment. They have ships and drones that are parked that are ships and drones used for repairs.
What does the agriculture look like? What are they? How are they producing agriculture?
Yeah, it's kind of like like a compact industrial growing setup. I don't know if you, Greg, have ever seen like images or videos of like indoor growing or indoor farming. It is a lot more tight, compact, and efficient than outdoor farming is. But of course, they don't have outdoors around here. So it's just kind of like huge long planter boxes with like LED lights right above them and very controlled irrigation, as well as probably sensors for any type of like pest, fungus, rodent, that sort of thing, bugs.
Okay.
So it's like very compact, very controlled. There's even like automation for harvesting.
That's efficient enough to feed this like community of pirates.
You'll ask and they say, well, there is still a lot of importing we need to do, and they kind of chuckle at that importing. Right. But this does a pretty good job, and we're continuously expanding this. I think one of our biggest obstacles over the last 10 years has been just finding the time to work on this and the supplies while also providing for ourselves. Especially
Dot would love this place.
I'm sorry, who?
You gotta get her over here. Dot, you haven't met her yet. She likes gardening.
Okay.
They like gardening.
Excellent. You would be happy to have a gardener.
Yeah.
I'm
getting them equipped with a big Gundam, so they should be able to do even more gardening.
A Gundam. That wouldn't really fit in here, but
we can make it bigger.
There's enough of a shared cultural understanding to know what a Gundam is.
Yes, of all the
yeah,
things
that's not what they're hanging up on.
Survived is the anti-war Gundam series from this little known place called Japan.
Okay. Yeah, so they'll just show you a lot of the Blue Horizon. They will not, however, show you the reactor, the mainframe, or the storm engine.
Why not?
I think we're establishing some trust here. In due time, I think your presence here will help, and I'm sure by week's end we can show you those areas of the ship. Says Ava. They are going to ask that you stay a week here, in fact. And they basically want to spend time like engaging in conversation with you about like what your ask, what like kind of communication network they need to set up with not only you but the rest of the resistance, and basically just kind of like bonding, like asking you lots of questions about yourselves and the Rebel Alliance and that sort of stuff, and also like give you the opportunity to get to know them. Like they do not want to enter into this relationship hastily. So There will be a lot of like getting to know one another. And throughout that week, you'll kind of learn a bit more about the situation with the major factions. The Reefers, I'm just going to kind of go down the line of the situations with each of these, unless you have like specific questions you want to ask right now ahead of that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not here.
Okay. So the Reefers are pretty stable. They've been here the longest. They're the ones that discovered the Blue Horizon, and Juno was the leader of the Reefers and has always been queen of the Reefers since the ship's discovery. They're the ones who've brought everyone else in, and kind of held onto the vision of this place for a really long time. So Juno has a lot of respect, and her opinion is highly regarded in this space. And the Reefers are largely trusted. The Draxler's Raiders, who are known for being very violent and fierce, they've been making a lot of waves recently. You learn that they were not always called the Draxler's Raiders, and until actually about a year ago, they were the Rhaenyra Raiders. However, their previous leader, Rhaenyra, was caught and sent to Contrition Max secure prison, which you all are familiar with. But she was killed in prison not long after she arrived. Their crew has very anarchistic views, which is, appreciated by a lot of the other pirate factions. But Draxler himself is like a very vengeful and intense leader. He's known as a killer. And since he's taken over, it's just been really tough working with him. He's wanted what's best for his pirate crew, the Draxler's Raiders. But he doesn't play nicely with others. They, for a long time, have had their eyes set on eliminating the Supermax prison, which you all have kind of actually helped with. So Draxler does warm up to you all a little bit, as well as a lot of his crew throughout the week. But they are very intense, especially Draxler.
We're a very strange kind of prison abolitionist. We go inside them and blow them up. We've done it to 2.
They do appreciate that. The Candid Corsairs, who you kind of detected some of the funny business with Ava Laureate, their chief engineering officer. They seem to have always had access to really high tech equipment, and they have really leveraged their tech savviness in this environment, especially with the Blue Horizon. They are the ones in charge of a lot of the repairs and implementation of tech and integration of Blue Horizon tech with the flotilla. They have kind of exploited this, and they kind of hold that over everyone's head. You get the sense. They charge other factions a lot for repairing their ships. And they seem to have a lot of leverage over the projects that get chosen to be done, both on the flotilla, the society, as well as the Blue Horizon. They are not, however, the ones in charge of making decisions on the Blue Horizon, and I'll get to that in a minute, but they seem to have a lot of power over that. The Blunder Buccaneers, who are the scavengers, thieves, and hackers who incite other factions and then pick battles clean, they are very much disliked by a lot of people, because a lot of times what they'll do is, at least this is what other people say, they will feed law enforcement and corporations and military info on where other pirate factions are going to be showing up, so that there can be conflict and that they can go scavenge those fights. So that a lot of people call them the Scavengeers, not the Blunder Buccaneers. And they are very much disliked. And then finally, the Children of Genesis. They have, as you found out, kind of leveraged their knowledge of this place and their detachment from pirate society to have a lot of like power in this place. There is an office in kind of the government area of the flotilla called the Office of Genesis Projects, where it's decided exactly what gets worked on next on the Blue Horizon, and they're in charge of that. They seem to want like total control over Genesis technology, and seem really off-put that they have to share that with all of these pirates who they don't seem to trust. Their group, the Children of Genesis, seems to have attracted many eccentric people, both from the shore and from other solar systems, other sectors of the Orion arm. And in many cases, a lot of the people here are wealthy patrons of their quote-unquote clergy. People who have bought their way here to this space. And act very entitled. So there tends to be a lot of distrust between certain factions or of certain factions that you kind of discover throughout the week. Is there any more info that you all want to ask about these factions right now?
Not in the moment, no. Nope.
Okay. So in what's up, John?
Nothing.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Okay. So you all have a week while you're kind of, integrating into this society and partnering with them, collaborating with them. Are there other projects that you want to work on? For example, Andy, I know you wanted to continue work on your grappling hook. Do you want to go ahead and give me a fix check for that?
Yeah.
I believe that's DC 12.
You're DC 12.
Whoa.
Is it intelligence or dexterity?
Either one's fine. That's a 10. Okay, go ahead and lower the DC to a 10 for next time.
No, I'll re-roll.
Oh.
We're just lowering it every time. That's how we were doing it before. Okay.
Oh, or you can also re-roll if you want.
Yeah.
Just get it done.
Do it again. Fix. Aren't I working with an expert at a local shop who's giving me a +1?
You know you're not.
I think I use this as a way to sort of make friends with what's his face? Where the fuck is your list? Did I already scroll past it? Oh yeah, I did. Admiral Draxler. I talked to him about weapons upgrades and stuff, and work with him in one of his best gunsmiths, and use it as an excuse to bond with him over cool weapons.
And you can take the +1, but that's not going to get you to a 12.
That's why he said he was re-rolling.
Yeah, I'm re-rolling.
Okay, yeah, +1.
Rude dude. Jesus.
All right.
Keep it in you.
Boom.
Oh, there we go.
You rolled,
and I think I'm also showing off this cartel blunderbuss to him, because I think he'd be interested in this like interesting piece of weaponry.
if it's called a blunderbuss, I want nothing to do with it, says their master gunsmith. But
It's,
here, let me show you
what?
something cool. Well, yeah, because we've got the blunderbuscaneers, those fuckers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant the cartel spike murdering machine.
Oh my god, yes, please show me that.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
And this master gunsmith, good thing you pointed out they have one, it's going to say, hey, let me show you something really cool with that crit you rolled. 2 6s.
Yes, please do.
And go ahead and pick a mod for your grappling hook. You get it.
Let's get a mod.
Okay.
Where are the mods?
I don't know. Go find it. All you.
Oh.
What about the rest of you? What are you doing with your week?
I can go next.
Go for it.
I want to make connections, ApolloNik.
Yes.
I'm a great diplomat, even though, I adhere to hierarchy. And that's why, of course, I let Sunny do most of the talking. But honestly, I am super interested in those stuck up pieces of shit who wormed their way in to this cabal of pirates. And I wish to become very well acquainted with them to the point where they may even consider me a potential contact.
With the Children of Genesis?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I want to know what they know. That's what I fucking want.
Okay. Yeah, so there are a number of important characters. I'm gonna just go ahead and copy paste this into the chat so you just have it.
Damn it.
What?
We've just been introduced to 30 characters.
I know. And don't worry,
God damn it.
I'm working on an actual document with all of this information you all will have. So yeah, there's a number of people with corporate backgrounds that are here. Lots of like affluent people. You're used to working with people like that and worming your way into their circles. So it comes very naturally to you. And
some could say I'm very well connected.
you are very well connected.
And I'm a natural diplomat.
Hell yeah. So let me. So apparently they had the founder of the Children of Genesis several generations ago had visions indicating that Genesis technology holds the key to humanity's ascension. And within the Children of Genesis, they take that to different degrees of literacy. No.
I get what you're trying to put down.
Some believe that they
Literature?
Hey, come on, man.
Some believe that is like a figurative ascension, like, oh, we'll just become better people for it. And some people think like, oh, with enough contact with the right Genesis tech, we'll literally become ascended, whatever that means. But they generally believe if one could learn everything about the galaxy, that these Genesis ships that flew among the stars for hundreds of years and learned so much about our galaxy, if someone could learn that much, one would become divine themselves, which is why finding and restoring Genesis tech seems to be so important to these people. So yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah.
What else do you want to know?
I want to know how much ancient technology that they have. I want to know if they are the ones. Like, there was this one stupid bounty hunter we fought like 1,000,000 years ago, who also assassinated like a dignitary of an alien race. That shit must have been. That couldn't have just been like Lee Harvey Oswald, right? In terms of assassination plots, where it's some dude in a tower. So I'm wondering how, and if how can I get more cool shit? And if these guys are the ones truly going down the rabbit hole that is these ancient ships, I want to know what cool shit they got and how I can get my hands on it.
Well, when you were given the tour of the Blue Horizon, you saw ships exactly like that one, like exactly like Morik's ship, and in fact, the the Office of Genesis Projects is on one of those ships that has been flown over to the flotilla and lashed together, like welded together into the flotilla. So like they are truly grounding themselves in Genesis technology. They say we keep very tight lock and key on the Genesis tech. We don't want some of our fellow pirate factions to start engaging with the black market. This technology holds the key to our future. So
I agree.
We can't afford to release a single iota of it.
So the pirates, though. But what about to members?
So okay, so you're trying to establish yourself as a member of this group.
Yeah, fuck it, dude.
Okay.
John's joining the cult, man. Let's go.
I'm joining the cult. You gave me a cult to join. Apollo. You don't understand my mighty needs of joining communities.
What level diplomat do you have?
1.
Just level 1. And connected, you're level 2?
I could be. I've never had really an opportunity to be connected, so I haven't put in points into it. But
Okay. Give me a talk at +2.
Okay.
Or even an administer, like if you want to go through the motions of like formally joining, like.
Okay, well, I click talk. I
what?
just put wisdom for my
Yeah, that's
thing
fine.
because that is a +2 modifier.
Oh sure. Is your administer a higher skill level than +1?
No.
Okay, that 12's pretty good. Well, for children of Genesis, you can certainly have access. Is there anything in particular you're looking for? It is mostly terraforming technology, but we have access to a lot of the data from the ship, albeit a lot of it is corrupted or inaccessible to our computers, but we've had people trying to clean up the data. And we have...
Well, I'm eager to help. And also, there was this guy, and I tell them the story about this fucking bounty hunter and see if any, like, alarm bells begin to ring.
Oh, yeah. There is immediate seething disdain and contempt. They take contempt at you mentioning it. They're going to grab all the contempt tokens.
That guy. I'm actively seeking his demise.
Yes.
The problem is he's got a fucking force field around his body that seems impenetrable to bullets. And I would like a method of either overcoming that or having my own to physically throttle him and strangle him to death.
Well, unfortunately, that bounty hunter, we have much worse words for his like, but he stole it from one of our members who was doing a run for us. He managed to sneak aboard and steal the ship. But his other defenses, his personal defenses, that must be cyberware. We can...
Cyberware?
Yes. Implants. We can look into the cyberneticist who might have installed them for him and put you in contact if possible. But
Thank you so much.
We likely don't have the cyberware here, unless maybe the Candid Corsairs got their hands on something like that. You might want to check with the cyberneticist in the market.
Understood. And then I want to get a rundown on all the ships that they have because I know Sonny will want to know about them in the future.
Okay.
And then I want to join the cult. I don't know how much it costs to buy into it, but I would like to buy in my way into this cult, Tom Cruise style.
I was just about to say, starting entry levels, 2 million. No, I'm kidding. How much money do you have, John?
8,650 credits.
There's a little bit of a poo-pooing that number.
That is not cheap, Apollo. That is not a small amount of money.
Okay. I'm sure we could buy you in for 5,000 credits.
So,
at our
I would like
wood, our wood tier.
Wood tier. Whatever gets me access
just
to
right
their
below
information.
it goes platinum, diamond, gold, silver, bronze, plastic, and then wood tier.
Understood. So
Okay. So they have access to a number of Genesis Tech ships and drones. They're not outfitted with weapons, really. The Genesis Tech was built on Earth to be durable, to last. Since the Genesis ship didn't know what kinds of environments it would necessarily be sending its probes, drones, and other vehicles to perform the terraforming functions on. So they built them to be durable. And they can certainly be outfitted with other equipment as needed, but that could be very that could not obfuscate, what's the word I'm looking for? It could compromise the integrity of the divine equipment. And at that point, Theon Hammond will come in and say, it's quite all right. After all, if there is an opportunity here to guarantee the protection of the Blue Horizons and the Genesis technology, then perhaps an investment of some ships will be in order, and retrofitting them with weapons could prove useful. Wouldn't you say, Norm?
I would. You're a wise man.
And he'll talk numbers with you. They have a fleet of, let's see, they've probably been able to
We can get into the details later.
Yeah.
Apollo.
Yeah. They've only been able to fix up probably like a dozen or so ships. It's very slow going. They don't get the parts they need to completely overhaul automated ships and put things like life support and modern control systems in them.
Look, they have we'll learn how to get a Genesis human piloted Gundam, and then I'll be happy. But for now, let's move on to someone else.
Okay. Sunny, Dax, what do you want to do with your week?
Sonny, do you want to go, or do you want me to jump in?
Go ahead.
All right. Dax has two things that he wants to do. The first is he needs to score some drugs that of his own. He needs to replenish his stash. So he's going to do his best to make as many contacts as possible with the different dens. He's got to find his, special designer drugs, right? They're not necessarily your everyday ones. Those will do to help him blow off steam, right?
Okay.
But if he wants to access his powers or his mind, or just because that's been his addiction, that's the one he needs, right? So he is in search of liquid sky, trying to find backdoor contacts that might have or backwater contacts that might have this in with a corporation that can get access to it.
Okay. Roll me a connect.
Absolutely. And
and take +1 because these are pirates.
Okay. Sounds good.
They're like, their market, it just has guns and drugs. Like
right. That is a 6.
Liquid sky, not quite. Sorry. We do have some other stuff, homemade. We call it the Cove Creep. It's very similar to Liquid Sky. Mechanically worse, but narratively similar.
Yeah, he says, I understand. Look, I'll take it for now, but keep an eye out for me. I'll owe you a favor if you can dig up the real stuff. I can be useful, I promise.
Tell you what, I bet we'll have some for you by the end of this story arc.
Excellent. And I will purchase a fix me up of like some cove creep, just so that I have something on hand. But yeah, I will like go into debt, right? Like for a favor or something, with shady people, these
Ooh.
pirates, to get the actual
Okay.
good stuff.
Yeah. That will be the Draxler's Raiders that are running that
Oh,
that den.
for sure.
Yeah.
Second thing is, he got wrong-footed by the pirates when they asked, like, what happens after the revolution. Dax has been pointed at the corporations and shot like a weapon, and so he spends some time like thinking that over, and has decided that we haven't seen the plight of the people very much in this show, but it's kind of gone assumed that it is a post capitalism, like late stage capitalism, very bad, oppressive situation where their labor and their lives are kind of at the beck and call of corporations to be used and thrown away,
Mhm.
for profits, right? And so he decides that the way that that question was phrased to him, like who inherits the power after this happens, is wrong. As you don't inherit the system, you have to tear it down. And so he starts making connections, much like Norm does as a diplomat, but with just like all the random rough and toughs. And he wants to try to get everyone to see themselves as a community of people, because he wants to make the Pirate Cove. He wants to like revolutionize the Pirate Cove a little bit. So instead of these factions that vie for control, it's like um, an example of power spread out through like a bunch of people, and then he can go and show that and be like, we will be the example here. So it's a like this weird druggie has big dreams, right? And so it probably starts with like lots of card games and like going to the shooting range and talking, and like there's probably not a lot of progress going on, but maybe you see a montage of Dax making friends and talking about like the nebulas, because I think somebody's already called the reefers, which is unfortunate because that takes away a great name. Like he tries to get like he tries to bring like one person of every faction to the like card game, or one person of every faction to go to the shooting range, or to go to the vice den with him, whatever
Nice.
he's doing.
Yeah. Okay. Great. That sounds to me like a connect or a lead.
Sure. I'm gonna go with lead. Weirdly enough, I actually have points in that.
Can I add something in here?
Yeah.
As I didn't have a whole lot for Sunny for the week. I think whenever Dax is at that card game, Sunny's there too, and he's gambling and he is losing money intentionally. And to try and butter up all of these people, you don't go there and win money. If you win money, they're going to hate you. I'm intentionally losing some of
Dax
my
does
credits.
not pick up on this. Dax wants to win all of Sunny's money.
And that's fine. We have it all.
Nice. Lots of dirty looks shot at Dax when he wins a hand. Nice.
So I will subtract maybe like 1,200 credits to try to give Dax a boost of some kind.
I rolled a 9 without any modifiers on my lead.
Perfect. I'm going to count that as a 10.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that you like have a great time with some of these people that you grab, and your name and kind of what you the persona that you're representing kind of gets shared around, and you become like a tiny little bit of a folk hero in these parts, as people are kind of brought together, not only like around you, but around this idea of like, hey, like let's take care of each other, you know.
Johnny Poker Seed.
Johnny Poker Seed. That's great. Okay. So I think by week's end,
Excuse me, sorry.
no, you're good. The leadership. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have anything else, Brian, for Sunny?
What I was going to do was somewhat similar to what Greg was planning on doing. And so I think Sunny in there losing lots of money, being flamboyant, making lots of noise, and making Dax look good is all that I need to do for the week.
Okay, so then not only was that an assist, I'm going to bump up the result level to a 12 in terms of my notes, my note taking, and what that could mean in the future. All right, so by week's end, like things are driving really well with a lot of these, especially the leaders and these communities of pirates. Word gets around throughout the entire cove that you all are here and what it is that people are asking. And as you kind of like walk through the ships, people like will chat you all up and be like, so are you all really asking us to fight against the corporations? Wow, that's insane. You know, but you know, fight the good fight. Those kinds of comments. And I think obviously you had Juno's respect. Draxler has really grown on you all, especially since you're asking them to fight. The Candid Corsairs think that they're interested, but you get the sense that Ava Laureate and them in general are really interested in more technology and more power, which is a little concerning. The Blunderbuss Buccaneers, they seem the least off-put by this, even though Colin is like a huge fan. They're just like, we don't like to fight. Our people are not fighters. So there's some concerns there. And finally, thanks to Norm's efforts, I think the Children of Genesis are also very interested in this. Granted, they're not interested in committing a lot of their resources, a lot of their people, necessarily, like they don't even have a lot of technology to commit, but they're willing to. But this is an opportunity that they can leverage on the other, like the pirate factions, to be like, great, if we fix the shore and all the pirates can leave this place, we get to sit with our Genesis technology. We can stay here all by ourselves and control this. Yay. And I'm sure that you all are content to let them believe that that's what's going to happen. Unless there's other thoughts. But you all build up enough trust for them to be like, okay, we will take you deeper into the ship. So they will take you to the storm drives. And once again, explain these are drives that, well, they didn't explain this before. We believe that these storm drives were intended to protect the ship from radiation and other cosmological threats and events. Which is why we believe that the Blue Horizons computer prioritized leaving power onto the storm drives. All power from the ship was diverted whenever it was struck by whatever energy weapon hit it on its backside. But it kept the drives on, and the ship seemed to have piloted itself here into the reef, where it landed here, and has kept the ethers of the reef at bay all this time. Without the storm drives, we in fact are quite at risk here, but the ship still has quite a bit of power and time for us to solve our energy problem, especially if you have anything to offer us. We hear that you have some sort of limitless power supply. We would definitely be interested in acquiring such technology for our safety, of course. They will then move on to the reactor, which is just a massive ship reactor. They're also interested in whatever power supply you can offer, because the reactor itself has been cold for a really long time. The ship was not equipped with much fuel beyond what they expected whatever Earth expected it to need to get this far. So the reactor actually doesn't have a lot of fuel left. There, of course, was a safety factor involved, so it has some left, but just starting the reactor requires a tremendous amount of power to jumpstart, which they just don't have access to that much instantaneous power. But all the reserve power in the ship is dedicated to the storm engines. And then finally, they reach the mainframe. And this is where things get really, really bizarre. Here you are led by a wizard hacker of the Blunder Buccaneers, Bobby O. He says, I was the one on the other end of your messages. It was nice to receive them. And of course, I'm happy to show you the mainframe. I've had a hell of a time trying to access the mainframe's architecture and code. They seem to have used some really bizarre hardware and software. Anything I've tried, the code comes up corrupted, and I've just been unable to access it. And he walks you into the mainframe room, and there, the entire mainframe appears to have been altered by the Nyota sun. Like, the entire mainframe is sparked, whatever we called that. It has been changed. The ship appears to have become a sentient AI, the same way Dot has, the same way that those other AI were. Like, its hardware has been altered, and it is sentient. However, it does not have power.
Well,
Is Aaron with us?
Yeah, and Diaren just does a crab like. Did you hear that?
loved it.
No, it cut off.
I did a like that descending whistle. Whistle.
But in crab.
Okay.
But in crab.
Got it.
So,
Well done.
At mantis shrimp frequencies.
Yeah, and by the way that Bobby O is describing this, he does not know what this is. He does not know. He's like, yeah, this is just weird technology I've never seen before.
Oh, it's an AI, actually.
Well, of course, back on Earth, they had to, only an AI could run this much hardware. And he so many drones and shuttles and terraforming equipment, sensors, data to process.
All right. You got me there.
We need to make some calls.
I think we should hold off on turning it on, at least until we bring Dot.
Yeah,
Might be better to have one of their kind, you know?
good call.
for sure.
One of their kind.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, Bobby. It'll all make sense in the end.
All right. So you make your calls. Who are you calling?
Hey, hey, science guy, science wizard, we need a
Big
team down here.
Vorax. Hey, what's
Vorax,
up, guys?
We need some goddamn AI specialists down here. We got another one. We got a live one.
Well, I've got my hands full here. I've put Dot in the mech, and boy, is she a handful.
All right, well,
Can you put her on? Hey.
Stop. Hi, Dax.
oh,
Hey.
Jesus Christ.
I'm in a-
13
How's the new
meters
drone
tall.
body?
Fucking Gundam. I'm so cool and tall.
Yeah, you are. Hey, I found a brother of yours, I think.
What? What does
I
that
know,
mean?
he's all
What is-
shut down right now.
I don't even know what that means. I didn't know I had a brother.
Wait, it could be a grandpa, actually.
Oh, yeah, it could be a grandpa. I don't know. You need to come out here, or we need to come get you.
Where are you?
We're in the nebula.
What's
It's
that?
the ionosphere.
It's a big ball of gas in space, and it has tunnels and there's pirates in it. It's so cool. Anyway,
Greg, your inflection on that, I thought you were about to say, it's a new sub. Okay, so you want Dot here.
that's the plan. That's
want
always
fucking
been my
Borax
plan.
here.
Yeah. Or if we
we
can't
need
get
our
Vorax,
AI
we'll take Brucius. If we can't get Vorax, and Vorax won't leave.
Have you met, you?
want-
Oh, that's right. You've met Vorax in person. Okay.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah, I think like a day later, Vorax and Dot arrive. Like, they fly out here.
I pestered Dot with 100 questions.
Yeah, we're gonna just kind of breeze over the whole like.
Yeah.
They're like, what is this cleaning robot? Oh my god, that's Vorax. You're my hero, says a lot of people. Yeah, they're now on the bridge, or not the bridge, but they're in the mainframe room with you all, and they're like, this is holy shit. Do you know how big this ship is? Did you see how big this ship is?
No shit.
Yeah,
Look.
we've been here for a week.
We need to either figure out if we should turn this on or not. And you're our specialist, so start specializing. Get to work.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I think we should turn it on, but I just want to make sure that it doesn't have like a broken brain, kind of like I do, right? But like it's been sitting out here in space for a long time, and like the circuits might get all something, robot stuff, but bad. And I just want to make sure that it's safe. And then I definitely think that with Dot here, we can talk with it and like it'll be all good.
Dot is able to disembark from her mech, so she is not here in mech form. That is parked. That is parked in the hangar. He's like, well, after like another day of looking, he's like, as far as I can tell, whatever metamorphosis that these AI go through when they come into contact with Nyota radiation, it's completed the process. Everything looks intact. Obviously, the damage to the ship is a consideration, but I don't really know what we can do about that. It'll take years to repair this ship, maybe even longer with whatever, if we had access to corporate tech, it would take years, much less what these pirates have been able to accomplish. Albeit, it's been good. It's been good.
Maybe for humans. We don't know the extent of this thing's power. This ship was designed to change planets and solar systems. If we turn it on and give it intelligence, I insinuate much with my tactical pause.
Not a strategic pause, a tactical pause.
It was very tactical.
Well,
There's no strategy behind this.
Well, Norm, says Vorax, I mean, it already has the intelligence. All we have to do is turn it on. Surgical pause.
That's a great place to cliffhanger off of, I tell Vorax. And I look to my party, who may want to get a word in before we hit our 3-hour mark. I'm now calling the shots, Apollo.
No, I'm not letting you.
Fuck.
Jax's intention was always to turn this on. He just wanted Dot here in case it was like exterminate, because then we could at least like have counter AI. I don't know, talking points.
Dot's
For
like,
AI on
Dot's
AI
like,
action.
Dax, you promised plants. Where are the plants? And you're like, counter AI.
Immediately like forgetting everything about the ship AI, and I'm like, follow me, and I take her to the garden, like the big like, yeah.
All right.
Give it 3 days, that garden will be all across the ship.
Well, Speaking of all across the ship, as soon as Dax, you say, "Great, Dot, let me take you." There is a ship-wide alarm. Like the blue horizon starts to have an alarm, and Bobby O is like, "What the hell is that? I didn't even know that this ship has never made this alarm before." And there is a klaxon going off. And Bobby O looks at his data pad and he's like, oh my God, the storm engine is losing power. We will all be dead in 15 minutes if we don't get down there and do something. Let's
It
go.
heard us. It knows that we have energy. Oh, fuck.
And that,
We're being held hostage.
John, is the cliffhanger we're going to leave this on.
Okay.
All right. So, any shout outs before we take off? Brian, when is when is your next Dragon Warrior randomizer race? You are now in the playoffs. Congratulations.
Thank you. I will not know until Sunday when the rest of the
that's
races
right.
are done for the week who I'm competing against, and then hopefully they can schedule early in the week. So it's probably going to be sometime early next week.
Nice.
Cross fingers.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Any other shout outs before we go?
I don't have any shout outs. So.
Okay. Join John and I on Fridays on this channel at what time was it?
5:30 your time.
5:30 Pacific for Sins of Stormfire. We have finished character creation of our Warhammer characters, and I'm playing a branch witch, motherfuckers. I don't even know what that means yet, but I'm so excited.
You're playing Dot, but with magic.
I'm playing Dot with magic, and I'm a tree.
You are. You may even get a grub. Who knows?
Oh my God, John! You said you would kick me out of the campaign if I had a companion.
It's true.
Okay.
But you may.
You have your animal companion will not live one session in John's game.
I know.
I fucking hate animals, guys. I swear, they're the worst.
And join Greg and I on Sundays at 7 Pacific on Greg's channel for Fellowship of Souls, where my character gets ground pounded by a giant Bowser monster made of sludge. And if you don't understand that reference, go watch the latest episode. It was a phenomenal fight, and we almost died already. All right. That's it from us. Thank you so much for watching. Tell everyone you've ever met about us. We really appreciate it. That's the best way you can support the channel. Have a great night. Bye-bye.